My beloved child, tonight, do not fall asleep until you open your heart to hear my voice. There is something buried deep beneath the layers you thought were peace. The ones you trusted, admired, prayed with, many of them have departed from the light. Their names will astonish you, but I must speak the truth. For tonight is not a time for ambiguity. I placed you alone in this world, not so you would blend in, but so you would stand apart. Yet you have begun to love the chains because they are gilded. If you do not awaken, you will seal your heart from me forever. My child, this world is blind while believing it sees. It wears the glasses of knowledge but has lost wisdom. It mocks the sacred, ridicules what is pure, and deems my love outdated and naive. Yet in that so-called freedom, they have become slaves to passion, to the craving for validation, to desires that never satisfy. And with every step, they drift farther from me. They do not realize it. But I see, I grieve, and I am stirring you in the midst of this madness so you are not swept into the thick fog of deception. You are not part of that crowd. Though many times you have wished to blend in just to avoid the loneliness, but you were set apart before your first cry. I placed my mark upon your forehead. You may not remember, but your soul remembers. That is why what the world calls normal unsettles you. That is why you feel lost when others rejoice, because you are not made to dissolve, but to rise, not in pride, but in holiness, not to judge, but to love in truth. And that calling, you've heard it many times, even when you tried to ignore it. Now, I call you more clearly than ever. Arise. You are the light I prepared long ago to shine in the darkest places. But light cannot blaze if you keep covering it with the mask of the world. You do not need to become like them to love them. You need to become like me. Only then will they see something different in you, something they cannot explain. Yet feel deeply. It is me in you, and I will use you like a small flame to ignite hearts that seem long gone cold. Do not look to numbers, to results. Look to faithfulness. The more you walk in truth, the closer you come to your true self, the identity I wove into your being, a bearer of my love, my truth, my hope in a world that slumbers. My child, I formed every person with a distinct identity, not by chance, but by love and eternal purpose. Yet how many of them live as though they are merely products of circumstance, of genetics, of mistakes. They have eyes but do not see beyond the surface. They fail to see me in nature, in life, in their very existence. Their ears are filled with the noise of the world, so much so that they can no longer hear my gentle voice echoing within their spirit. I whisper, but they chase applause, flattery, the lures of empty dreams, as I once spoke through the prophet Isaiah. This people have eyes but do not see, ears but do not hear, for their hearts have grown calloused, and that breaks my heart. They live, but they do not know who they are in my sight. They define themselves by their jobs, their appearance, their status, by what others say of them, forgetting that I am the one who names their soul. They chase after the image society paints, but the harder they run, the further they drift from the sacred essence within. They forget they were made in my image with dignity, with glory, with a mission given from the beginning. When they no longer know who they are in me, they will become anything the world wants them to be. And in doing so, they lose themselves without even realizing They speak of happiness, of success, of goals, yet their souls are barren, dry as a land without rain. Not because I haven't sent the rain, but because they've built roofs of self-reliance and doubt. They are disconnected from me, the only source that can quench the deepest thirst of the human heart. I long to refresh them, to draw them near, but they avoid me and choose other paths. Just as a tree pulled from the soil cannot survive, so too does the human soul wither when detached from me, though on the outside, they may still laugh and seem successful. Do you see? My child, this is not judgment. It is a gentle warning. I do not watch them from afar with condemnation. I stand close, waiting for the moment they turn back. I know their weariness. I know their burdened hearts. But they try to carry it all with their own strength instead of falling into my arms. As my beloved son once said, "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within them." But sadly, they no longer believe they are thirsty. And this is why I need you. My beloved, you are a living reminder that there is still another way, a path that leads back to origin, to true identity, to my embrace. You do not need to be perfect to walk with me. You only need sincerity, a heart that remains tender before me. Through you, I can reach those souls who have forgotten who they are. And because of you, someone will remember my voice again like a distant melody their soul has never stopped longing for. My child, I am still speaking. From the dawn of creation until this very hour, the voice of my spirit has never ceased. But with each passing day, that voice is increasingly drowned out by the countless sounds humanity pours into its ears. They live at a breathless pace, so used to the rush that they call it living. Entertainment has become an anesthetic, dulling the pain they refuse to face. Social media rains down in dazzling colors, each scroll helping them forget what is real, what is needed. Amid the music, the laughter, the constant notifications, my voice grows faint, like a breeze to souls no longer hungry for silence. There are things that are not wrong in themselves, but they become dangerous when they replace me in their hearts. The small habits postponing prayer, choosing more sleep over opening their hearts to me, prioritizing stress relief over resting in my presence. Each one is quietly extinguishing their inner flame. They do not realize that these small choices, repeated over time, dull their spiritual senses. And one day, when I speak, they can no longer hear, not because I am silent, but because they've long since changed the channel. As the scriptures say, "Be still and know that I am God," but they choose to live in noise and call it progress. My child, emptiness cannot be erased by entertainment. It can only be hidden, suppressed, until it rises stronger in the stillness of night. I see them souls that appear cheerful but are withering inside. They tell themselves they're fine, that everything's okay, while within, an abyss opens wide. They try to fill it with pleasure, spending, fleeting relationships, but nothing truly heals. For only I can fill that emptiness, not with fleeting emotion, but with eternal life, not with excitement, but with true peace. They have dined at tables laced with poison, masked in pleasure. The settings are elegant, tempting, beautifully arranged, yet within lies decay. Into their souls, they consume distorted ideologies, inverted values, dangerous illusions of boundless freedom. They are captivated by the sensation of owning their lives, yet they are being led, step, by temptation. I see them swallowing venom daily, unaware they think they are indulging, but in truth, they are harming themselves from within. My child, I do not say these things for you to judge them, but so you will understand that the battle is not out there, but within every heart. I want you to stay awake, to not be swept into that wave. I need you to keep your ears sensitive to the whispers of my spirit. Even when all around you choose the clamor, you do not need to shout against the darkness. You only need to keep your light from going out. For in the darkest night, even the smallest light can guide someone home. And I will use the light within you to awaken those still asleep in the sweet but dangerous dream. My beloved child, even though the world may lose its way, even though many have forgotten my name, my love remains unchanged. I have never turned my back since the moment they walked away. I have stayed silent, but never far, heartbroken, but never hopeless. I see every step they take, every silent tear shed in the night, every moment they pretend to be strong while their hearts are breaking. Though they no longer speak my name, I still whisper theirs in love, like a father who waits each night for his child to return from a distant land. I sit and wait, not with eyes of judgment, but with eyes full of hope and compassion. No one, my child, is beyond my reach. There is no stain too deep that I cannot cleanse, no wound too old that I cannot heal. People may cross each other's names off lists, may exclude one another for mistakes and failures, but I do not. I am the one who left the throne of glory to walk into the darkness, just to seek and save what was lost. I do not wait for them to become better before I love them. I love them in their weakness, in their stubbornness, even in their rebellion. And it is in their turning away that I draw nearer. As it is written, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, that love needs no condition, and it never loses its power. Do you know, my child, I do not seek punishment. I seek healing. I do not long for reluctant submission, but for a broken heart that turns back. I do not wait to accuse, but to embrace the weary. Many think I am angry, that I only seek to judge and discard. But the truth is, I bore the punishment so that they could step into freedom. I chose pain so they could live, and now I wait for their return, not to face wrath, but to receive open arms and unconditional forgiveness. I want them to know they are still awaited, that no one has gone too far to come back, that no matter how many times they have fallen, if they turn back even once, I will run to them and hold them close. You may forget this, but I never will. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. My love is not a fleeting feeling, but an everlasting covenant. And when you or anyone returns, there is no hesitation, only rejoicing in heaven. For every soul that returns, a feast is prepared, a heart is restored, a new chapter is written in grace. My child, I am looking for those who are willing to carry this message to a despairing world. I do not need you to be perfect, only to be tender. Tell them that I am still here, that I have not left them, even if they have left me, that in all they have lost, they have not lost the chance to return. And when they do turn back, they will not find a courtroom, but a father running toward them, tears streaming, embracing them and saying, "Welcome home, my beloved." From the beginning, I placed a spark of my light in the hearts of those who belong to me, not for them to keep to themselves, but to shine amidst the darkness of the world. That light does not come from perfection, for I did not choose you based on performance or outward traits. I chose you for your surrender. A humble heart, one that listens, one that breaks before the truth. That is where I delight to dwell. As I have said, whoever wants to follow me must deny themselves, and it is in that surrender that the light begins to blaze. You do not need to be perfect to be useful. You only need to be willing. I know you have thought yourself too small to make a difference, that your voice is too faint, your actions too insignificant. But I am not looking for noise. I am looking for steadfastness. You may be a small lamp in a mighty storm, but if you still burn, that light will guide someone home. You may not see the results right away, but every step you take in faithfulness leaves my footprints on the earth, like seeds growing silently beneath the soil. Your surrender is bearing fruit in ways you cannot imagine. I have anointed you not to be seen, but to be sent. Even if the world does not understand you, you must remain faithful. I did not promise ease, but I promised my presence. Those who went before you, the prophets, the apostles, even my son, were misunderstood, opposed, and isolated, but they did not walk for recognition. They walked for love, for truth, for the call from on high. So must you, my child. You may feel alone, but you are never abandoned. I am there in every step you take, in every trembling word you speak, in every quiet act done in loyalty. Do not despise your smallness, for it is through humility that I reveal my great power. The enemy fears that he does not fear grandeur in appearance, but hearts that are hidden yet resolute. When you live by my word, you are standing among those who bring my kingdom to this world. When you forgive, when you love, when you dare to speak the truth, even without applause, even without welcome, you are bearing witness to me in the darkest places. You are the light of the world. Do not hide it under a basket, but let it shine for all. That is my word to you. So do not wait until you feel enough. Do not wait until you think you are worthy, for it is in your weakness that my power is made perfect. Walk, my beloved. Do not fear the darkness, for the light within you is greater than the darkness around you. And each day you live in the truth is another day I use you as my messenger, quiet, steady, but powerful. You do not need to light the whole world, just the place where I've placed you, and I will take care of the rest. My dear child, there is a kind of strength the world cannot understand, and because they do not understand, they despise it. They think strength is the loudest voice, the power to control, the ability to make others submit. But I teach you something entirely different. True strength begins where no one looks in your heart, where you choose to forgive instead of retaliate, to love even when hurt, to bless those who curse you. Every time you choose what is right, you stand with me in a battle without guns, but with eternal consequences. As it is written, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. That is true power. Do you know this? Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the mark of a mature spirit. When you forgive, you do not only set others free, you also set yourself free. Forgiveness does not say what they did was right. It says you choose not to be chained by it. When you bless those who oppose you, you break the cycle of hate that the enemy feeds on. When you love the unlovable, you shine light from another kingdom where love is not earned, but given by nature. And it is in that moment that you become more like me than ever before. The power you carry is not of this world, but from the kingdom above. It does not need to dominate, it shows through self-control. Holiness is not pride, it is separation unto belonging. When you choose purity amidst a generation of lust and lies, you stand like a pillar in rushing waters. Without shouting, you are still noticed. Without arguing, your righteousness stirs the conscience of others. This is not the easy path, but it is the most powerful, for it reflects my image faithfully. My child, every time you do good, every time you remain faithful, the works of the enemy tremble. He does not fear chaos, but he trembles before a simple heart living in truth. When you stand firm, though no one stands with you. When you refuse to lie, though it benefits you. When you lift others instead of stepping over them at that moment, you are destroying his schemes. The Son of Man came to destroy the works of the devil, and now I do that through people like you. So do not underestimate the little things you do. A word of forgiveness, a look of kindness, a hidden act, these are echoing in heaven. Every day lived rightly is a declaration that my kingdom is coming. And each time you choose love over hate, hope over despair, trust over doubt, you are clearing a path for light to shatter the dark. I am in you, and my power will keep flowing through every good work you do, even if the world does not understand, even if the results aren't yet seen. For this is true strength, to love while hurting, and to walk in holiness amidst a stained world. My child, sit down for a moment and open your heart. Do not rush to find answers to every question within you. Do not be quick to interpret every pain as failure. I know you are tired. I feel every shallow breath you take amid the rush of your days. But I see something deeper, still the trembling of your soul, afraid of being left behind, afraid that if you remain faithful without seeing results, then perhaps you've lost your way. You have not. You are on the right path, even when everything around you says otherwise. Listen carefully to what I am about to tell you, for it is the light you need in the days when you cannot see. You were not created to be understood by everyone, nor were you called to live a life that pleases the crowd. The world will not understand you, not because you are wrong, but because you are different. You do not walk to the same call. You do not chase after the same applause. And that, at times, makes you feel like an outsider, a stranger in your own land. But do not fear that loneliness. It is the price of being set apart. It is the mark of one sanctified by my hand. Do you remember my son? He lived a life never truly understood. He loved unconditionally, healed the broken, uplifted the rejected, and preached the kingdom of heaven, yet they still crucified him. Do you know why? Because light is never welcomed where darkness longs to rule. The prophets I once sent, those who bore messages from heaven, were often despised, cast out, even killed, not because they were wrong, but because they were true. And now, you are called into that same lineage, the lineage of those who are willing to remain faithful, not to be applauded, but to bring delight to the Father in heaven. I know you once hoped that doing right would lead to understanding, acceptance, and recognition from others. I do not blame you for wanting that. It is a very human desire. But I am inviting you to rise higher to a place where you no longer need human approval to know you are on the right track. You are not defined by feelings, by the gaze of others, or by numbers that measure success. You are defined by surrender, And that surrender is so precious that heaven records every moment you choose to remain faithful when no one else sees. I have never overlooked the burdens you silently carry. I have seen every tear-soaked night, every time you held your tongue because you didn't know what to say to the world, every question you kept hidden for fear of being judged as lacking faith. But do you know something? I have heard. Not one of your prayers has vanished into nothing. Not one of your tears has fallen without touching my heart. I have kept every whisper in the dark, and I am weaving wonder out of those very silences. There are things that have yet to bear fruit, not because I've forgotten, but because I am preparing something better. I am never in a rush, but always on time. Sometimes I delay to teach you how to hear me in the noise. Sometimes I slow you down so you will not just learn of me in your mind, but experience me through your journey, both the suffering and the hope. You thought I was silent, but in truth, I've been speaking more deeply, not through words, but through everything you've endured. I've pulled you away from the noise not to make you feel lost, but so your ears may learn to hear me more clearly than ever before. My child, in a world where everyone rushes to prove themselves, you are called to stand firm in stillness. While the world seeks validation in numbers, you are invited to find confirmation in me. While others measure worth by visibility, you are shaped by surrender. And that makes you different, but that very difference is the light I have placed within you. A light that is not loud, not blinding, but enough to guide, enough to stir hearts, enough to remind someone that they are not forgotten. You don't need to shout in the crowd. Just live rightly. Live sincerely. Live simply, but firmly. I do not seek brilliance in you. I seek an undivided heart. I do not demand that you understand everything, but I invite you to believe. Believe that in the seemingly meaningless repetition of days, I am weaving a story of eternal significance. Believe that in all that goes unnoticed, there is a book in heaven writing your name each day. Believe that in the moments your heart feels shattered, I am gently reshaping it, never letting pain go to waste. And my child, remember this, you do not walk alone. The times you cannot feel me are the times I am closest. Just as a teacher remains silent while the student takes the test, so I, too, have chosen silence at times, not because I do not care, but because I believe you can grow. I want you to learn to stand, not on emotions, but on faith. Faith that is not built on what is seen, but on the one who never changes. And I, the maker of heaven and earth, the keeper of every promise, the one who never lies, I am the safest refuge for your soul. So when you are misunderstood, remember that my son was too. When you are rejected, remember that those who came before you also faced rejection. When you feel alone, remember that I once walked the road to the cross alone, so that you would never be eternally alone. And when you see no change, remember, sometimes the seed must break and die in the soil before it rises with life. Stay faithful, even when no one notices. Love, even when it hurts. Forgive, even when there is no apology. Walk in holiness, even when the world calls it extreme, because when you live this way, you are walking with me. And when you walk with me, not a single step is wasted. Not a single sacrifice is in vain. Not a single pain is without purpose. I am holding your hand right now, and I whisper this into your soul: be steadfast, be strong and courageous, not because you are enough, but because I am in you. I am the one who began the good work in you, and I myself will complete it. You don't need to see the whole path. Just take the next step with me, and one day, when you look back, you will realize it was in those unseen, uncelebrated, misunderstood moments that I did my greatest work in your heart. My child, I know what you carry in your heart, the quiet doubts, the wounds that have yet to find comfort, the moments you longed to believe but felt utterly drained. I have seen every step you've taken, even the trembling ones in the darkness where no one else was watching. I do not blame you for being afraid. I am not angry that you wanted to stop at times. On the contrary, I drew closer when you no longer had the strength to call out, when your prayers became nothing more than sighs. You have never been abandoned, even when you could not feel me. I was always there. There are battles you never knew you overcame because I kept them from reaching you. Times you thought you got lucky. It was truly my hand intervening. On nights when you curled up in anxiety, I sent angels to encamp around you. The doors you thought closed in failure, I shut in love because you were not yet ready, or because I was leading you to another way, a path where my light was waiting for you. Just because you can't see it all doesn't mean I am not working. Your eyes are limited, but my hands are painting a vast masterpiece. You've only glimpsed a corner of it. You wonder where I was when you were hurting. I was there in every tear that fell, in every breath you took, trying to stay calm, in every moment you stood back up, though your soul was unraveling. I am not silent because I don't care. I am silent so that you can learn to hear beyond the noise of the world. Hear me, calling you from within. And now, my beloved child, something is shifting. You may not fully grasp it yet, but your spirit senses it. There is a stirring in the unseen realm. Not because the world says you are ready, but because I am ready to use you in the way I ordained before the foundations of the earth. This is not a glory you seize for yourself. It is a commission I am placing in your hands. Every experience, every wound, every time you felt useless, I have been gathering them, refining them, shaping them into an instrument for my kingdom. You have walked through fire circumstances that would have crushed others, yet you remain, not because of your strength, but because I walked with you in the flames. You have passed through deep waters, times you thought you'd drown in sorrow, but I kept your head above the tide. And with every trial, you've lost nothing. You've been purified. Now, you are a vessel carrying my glory, not gleaming in gold or silver, but sealed in the cracks that have been healed by grace. Believe this. Even when your emotions urge you to give up, stand on my word. Even when all around you seems to crumble, for truth is not based on how you feel, but on who I am, the one who never changes. I am he who began the good work in you, and I will complete it. Even when you tremble, even when you doubt, my faithfulness remains. Nothing you've done could make me stop loving you, and nothing that happens can thwart my ability to turn it for your good. You are anointed not for a life of ease, but to walk through this storm-ridden world with a light that cannot be extinguished. Anointing is not a badge to display, but the power of heaven to endure through trials. You are set apart not because you're better than others, but because I saw in you a heart that is willing. I do not need you to prove anything. I simply ask that you walk each day in simplicity, trust, and surrender. You are not called to do great things by worldly standards. You are called to be faithful in the smallest things, and I will take care of the rest. If you love those who are hard to love, if you forgive without ever receiving an apology, If you keep your heart pure in a corrupt generation, you are shaking hell and opening the gates for heaven to break in. The enemy wants you to think your obedience is meaningless, but every decision to follow me is destroying his work. Every time you choose holiness over compromise, you're stepping deeper into my territory. Do not fear when no one understands you. You are not called to be understood. You are called to walk with me. I know the loneliness of walking against the current. I know what it feels like to be left behind, misunderstood, mocked. My son Jesus endured these things too, but through him, victory has been sealed, and you are the one walking in his footsteps. You are not fighting alone. All of heaven is watching, cheering, waiting for ones like you, not great in the eyes of the world, but mighty in mine because they dare to believe, to love, and to obey. Some people will never read the Bible, but they will read you. Your life will be a living scroll. Your words, your actions, how you forgive, how you respond, these will speak louder than any sermon. And when they see the difference, they will begin to ask. They will hunger for what you carry. They will draw near not to see you, but to find me through you. And that, my child, is what I long for, to dwell in you, so that through you, the world might see me. My child, do not let lies discourage you. Old wounds do not define you. Past failures do not disqualify you. The world's mockery cannot extinguish what I have ignited in you. You are not a lamp hidden under a bed. You are placed high to light up the house. You are the salt of the earth, unseen, but preserving and bringing flavor to what would otherwise decay. I am leading you into a new season, where your light will shine brighter and stronger, not for your name, but for mine. Keep your heart soft. Let your eyes see beyond the circumstance. Let your ears grow more attuned to my whisper than the world's shouting. I am walking with you step by step. Even if the road is rugged, even if the wind howls, you are not alone. What I've begun, I will finish. And when that day comes, you will look back and see that every tear, every fall, every whispered prayer was never in vain. They were the stones that paved the path of glory I prepared just for you. When you speak in faith, I will fill your words with life. Don't worry about what to say. I will place the words on your lips. Every time you open your mouth for truth, even in a whisper, I will make it echo like a trumpet in the spirit realm. And when you walk with trembling feet on unfamiliar ground, do not fear. Your feet do not touch that earth alone. I go before you, clearing the path, leveling the rough ground, sweeping away every last doubt clinging to your soul. You are not walking into darkness. You are walking into my preparation, a plan written before time began. Sometimes it may feel like you've lost your way, as though things are spiraling beyond your control, but nothing escapes my providence. I do not let you fall without my hand ready to lift you. Not a single tear goes unseen. Every step, though slow, though shaky, though weary, is bringing you closer to the purpose I've reserved for you alone. I know you fear. You doubt yourself. You wonder, why me? Lord, what do I have? But it is in these tender moments that I delight to dwell, because what makes you strong is not your own power, but your surrender. When you release your will, I can pour out the fullness of mine upon your life. Like a fragile clay jar carrying priceless treasure, you too were chosen. Not because you are perfect, but because I see what no one else sees, a tender heart, a soul that responds to the call of eternity. Yes, battles will come, many of them, in your thoughts, in relationships, in dry seasons of the Spirit when prayers feel empty. It may be when loved ones turn away, when you are misunderstood, blamed for what you never did. But my beloved, these trials are not here to destroy you. They are fire that refines gold. They are the friction that strips away what no longer belongs to you. They hurt, yes, but they are necessary to make you more like me. I do not fear your scars. On the contrary, I will use them as living proof that my grace is real. I will turn your broken places into points of healing for others. None of your pain is meaningless. I am weaving every thread, whether dark or radiant, into a tapestry, a glorious story not only for my name, but to set your soul ablaze. You may feel weak, and that is okay, for it is there, in your weakness, that my power fills you completely. When you reach the end of yourself, you begin to experience the fullness of me. I do not ask you to be the best, the smartest, or the bravest. I only ask that you do not turn away. Just say, Lord, I'm willing. That's all. I will do the rest. I will uphold, equip, and teach you every step of the way, no matter how small. You may think your past disqualifies you, but hear me clearly. Nothing you've been through is wasted in my hands. Your failures I will turn into testimony. Your losses I will use to show compassion to the hurting. Your silent nights of tears I will use so you can comfort the brokenhearted. You don't need to hide the painful chapters of your story. Let me make music from them. And you will see, in the places once torn, the sound of life will ring out anew. There is much you don't see, but I am still working. When your prayers seem unanswered, I'm moving in the unseen. When you feel forgotten, I'm preparing something far beyond what you've asked. Remember, I am the one who closes doors no one can open, and opens doors no one can shut. The opportunities you thought were lost, I can unlock at just the right moment, and no one can stop it. Don't rush. I do not work in haste. I work in perfection. Do not compare your journey to others. Each one I call in a unique way. Every step you take bears sacred marks. You may be walking through a valley, but that is not your destination. It's just a passage, and I am walking beside you. When you have no words to pray, I take your sighs and turn them into pleas before my throne. When you are exhausted, lean on me. I never grow weary. I know there are times you feel small in this vast world, but what you don't see is this. Even a single light in the darkness is enough to guide someone home. When you choose kindness in a cruel generation, when you keep your heart pure in a confused society, when you speak truth without needing applause, that is when my light in you shines. And that light is not from you, it is from me, the one who dwells within. Never let anyone belittle your faithfulness. Don't let harsh words discourage you. I see every quiet act you do in my name. A cup of water, a word of comfort, an act of forgiveness, they echo in eternity. The world measures worth by crowds, nuance, and spotlight, but I measure by motive, sincerity, and steadfastness. You are not called to please the world. You are called to please me. And if you are faithful in the little, I will entrust you with more. I will expand your influence, not by lifting you higher, but by making your heart deeper, stronger, more like mine. That is true glory. Remember this, my child, you are not alone. Even when the enemy surrounds, even when you feel weak, I am your refuge. I am your fortress, your shield, your peace in the storm. I have been with you from the beginning, and I will never leave. I do not change like the shifting shadows. My word is yes and amen, what I have promised. I will fulfill, and one day, when you look back, you will understand why some prayers went unanswered, why some doors closed, why certain people left. It was all to keep you within my good, pleasing, and perfect will. You will see that the days which seemed most wasted were the ones I filled you most deeply. In loneliness, you learned to hear me more clearly. In silence, you were soaked in my presence. My beloved child, there are things within your soul that you have never named, silent stirrings I am planting. Little by little, in the deepest parts of your spirit, you see yourself as small, ordinary, unremarkable, unqualified to change anything. But I say to you, with the earnestness of a father holding the hand of his beloved child, you cannot begin to imagine the ripple effect your faithfulness and surrender can have. You may not see it fully, but I do. I see you when you choose to forgive, even while your heart still aches. I see you guarding your purity in thought, word, and deed. In a world that beckons you toward the opposite path, I see you quietly standing for truth. Though no one defends you, no one understands you, and even you yourself don't always understand the pain in your own heart. But child, every small act, done in my name, shakes the heavens. You cannot see the invisible chains breaking just because you chose to walk in the light, but I see the shackles loosening in the lives of those around you. I see hearts, once tightly shut, beginning to soften simply because you offered a forgiving glance, a gentle but spirit-empowered word. Sometimes, a single small act, being patient with the difficult, turning down an unrighteous opportunity, choosing prayer over complaint, becomes a seed of sacred life planted in your atmosphere. A dark place can be lit, not because you shine with the world's brilliance, but because you carry me within you. And where I dwell, light reigns. Do not measure your worth by what your eyes can see. Results don't always appear instantly, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. I am writing your story with indelible ink, a story that future generations may one day read to find hope. I am using you as a pathway for my love to touch hearts you don't even know. You often think you must do something great to be useful in my kingdom, but I do not seek applause. I seek authenticity. I don't look at what sparkles on the outside. I look at how deeply your roots run. Every time you walk in faith, though, you feel nothing. Your faith is growing stronger, and in the moments you feel weakest, my power is made perfect in you. There are nights you've cried tired, lost, misunderstood. I was there. I held every tear in my hand. None have fallen in vain. They are watering the field of faith that one day will bloom in your life and in the lives around you. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Not a single sorrow of yours escapes me. Not one quiet step goes unnoticed. I know you long for me to act sooner. You pray. You persist. You wait. And sometimes all you receive is silence. But know this, my silence is not absence. It is the season where I deepen you. Prune what is unseen. Carve away corners so your soul is not only healed, but prepared for greater things. I am never in a hurry. I do not build on shaky ground. I am planting your roots deep so that when storms come, you will not be uprooted. What comes easily often fades quickly, but what is born in surrender, nurtured by tears and loyalty, will endure eternally. I don't want you to make a momentary impression. I want you to leave an eternal impact. And there will be days when a stranger will look at you differently, not because you stand out, but because they sense me within you. They will draw near not because of eloquent words, but because of the peace in you that unsettles them. You won't need to persuade. You'll just need to live. Live sincerely. Live with steady faith. Live with unshakable love, and I will take care of the rest. You were never called to carry the whole world on your shoulders, but you are called to carry me, and just that alone will transform the small world around you. When you walk into a room, if your heart is filled with my presence, darkness will retreat, not because of who you are, but because of who I am in you. Remember this, child. The greatest thing you can do is not build a reputation, but build lives through the living presence of me in you. When you love though wounded, forgive though unasked, show patience to the weak, and quietly intercede for a lost soul, that is when you become my outstretched hand on earth. The enemy does not fear your shouting, arguing, or striving, but he trembles before one who knows whom they belong to, who lives what they believe, who stands firm even in stillness. He fears you when you do not compromise. He fears you when you choose what's right, regardless of the cost. For every such choice breaks another link in the chains he uses to bind souls. Beloved, I know you're tired. I know you want to see results. I know you long for visible movement. But some things I hide not to punish you, but to teach you trust. I am shaping you into a vessel of spiritual weight, a person who, when they walk, stirs the unseen realm, a person who doesn't need to shine, but carries my imprint so deeply that just their presence makes darkness take notice. Do not despise this hidden season, for it is when I am laying the foundation. Do not underestimate the small things you do in faithfulness. They are the bricks, building a bridge for others to walk out of darkness. One day, you will look back and realize it wasn't the celebrated days that matured you, but the lonely days when you kept walking. It wasn't the harvest that deepened you, but the dry seasons where you remained faithful. And in that moment, you will see you were never as small as you once thought. You are part of redemption's plan, a vital piece of the eternal mosaic I am painting. Wherever you go, I will go with you. Wherever your heart rests, I will be there. And every step of obedience, every act of love, every stand for righteousness, you are echoing heaven's heartbeat through your life. My child, I know there were times you sat in the dark, clinging to hope like a child to a thin blanket in winter's night. You looked at the promise, then at reality, and between them yawned a chasm of silence. I saw your tear fall upon clasped hands in prayer. I saw you go quiet when words could no longer express your longing. But do you know, in those seemingly empty moments, I was filling your soul in ways unseen. When you ask me for something, I not only hear your words, I see the heart behind them. And if that heart is still fragile, not ready to carry the weight of the gift you request, I will not rush to give it, not because I reject you, but because I love you with a love that is not hurried, not impulsive, not easily swayed. I love you enough to say, wait, when you want now. I love you enough to delay what is good, to give what is better. My love is not measured by speed, but by eternal wisdom that knows what will nourish you and what would crush you if it came too soon. You are being shaped not to be worthy, but to be ready, for the things you ask for carry glory's weight, and if received too soon, could break you. So I am strengthening your spine. I am forging faithfulness in your daily repetition. I am deepening the roots of belief so you can stand firm in winds you've never faced. Just like a great tree is not planted overnight. True strength does not come from feeling, but from walking with me. One day at a time. Believe that each time nothing seems to move, heaven is preparing more precisely than ever. I am aligning pieces you've not yet seen. I am stirring hearts of people whose names you don't know to prepare for divine encounters. I am unlocking doors that once were shut, not because you forced them open, but because I turned the key from within. I am orchestrating a tapestry more beautiful than you could imagine. Nothing you've lived is wasted. Not one step is in vain. One day, when you look back, you'll understand delay was not denial. Every not yet was a hidden embrace. Every wait was my loving nod to your soul. Every time you felt left behind, I had gone ahead to make the way. The rejections were to protect you from what I didn't want following you into your future. And you'll know no door closed without a better one waiting to open. But be watchful, for your enemy is patient too. He whispers poison in the silence. He sows doubt into your heart. Little by little, he will tell you you're no longer worthy, that you missed your moment, that you're not enough, not strong enough, not holy enough. But my beloved, stay awake. Those voices are not mine. I never condemn you when you are returning to me. I never use delay to destroy hope, but to craft a firm foundation for the grace to come. You must learn to face those lies with truth, not by resisting, but by resting in my name. You don't need to react. You just need to stand. Stand on what I have spoken, not on what you feel. Recall what I told you in the light. And don't let darkness make you forget. Remind your soul, you are chosen. You are the workmanship of grace. You are the child of the Creator, not of fear. What I began in you, I will not abandon halfway. You have not yet seen all that I am preparing. But keep walking forward, for ahead lie wonders waiting to meet you. There are mornings coming when you will wake and find all sorrow turned into the substance of lasting joy. There will be days your eyes brim with tears, not from pain, but from awe at my faithfulness. Songs you thought had died within you, I will resurrect. Dreams you believed had faded, I will breathe to life again. And those longings that never left you, they were seeds I planted in you before the world was made. Do not let go of your calling just because it has not arrived yet. Don't live beneath what I designed because waiting made you weary. Do not sell your sacred dreams for fleeting comfort. Don't let old wounds blur your faith in the new I'm about to do. Even if you fall, I will hold your hand, even if you are weak. I do not change. I never asked you to be strong always. I only ask you never leave me. Your faithfulness in waiting is the key that unlocks the season of fruitfulness. I am not a man that I should lie. What I have spoken, I will fulfill. What I have sown will bear fruit in my time. Keep your heart tender. Keep loving. Keep believing. Keep walking. Even if your steps tremble, for every time you do, you say to me, I trust you more than my circumstances, and I hear that louder than any other prayer. My beloved child, I am still writing the story of your life, a story more beautiful than you imagined. deeper than you hoped for, and stronger than you believed possible. I am still moving, still preparing, still loving you with the whole heart of one who does not change. Do not give up, for the glory lies ahead, and I will be the one standing at the end of your path, arms wide open, saying, "You have kept the faith. Now enter into what I have prepared for you." I know your heart grows heavy as you hear these words, but I do not speak them to frighten you. I speak so you may see reality through spiritual eyes, so you will not fall asleep as many have. This is not the time for compromise. This is not the time to bow to the pressure of the crowd or remain silent out of fear of being misunderstood. This is the time when I am searching for those willing to step out of comfort, out of safety, to become a voice in the wilderness, a light in the night, a breeze in the dry storm of the human soul. Do not think you are too small to make a difference. It is often the ones considered insignificant who become the most powerful instruments in my hands. Those without position, fame, or influence by the world's standards, but who carry one thing, a heart that continually listens for my voice. And you, yes, you, are one of them. You are not the world's choice, but you are mine. I did not choose you because you were ready, but because you were willing, and that is all I need to move. My child, the world is aching not from a lack of progress, but from a lack of purpose. They chase after the new, but remain unchanged in spirit. They change jobs, cities, relationships, appearances, but cannot change the emptiness inside. For that void can only be filled by me. Some once walked closely with me, prayed with tears in their eyes, worshipped with burning hearts, but now they are cold and silent. Not because I have changed, but because they slowly let the noise drown out the whisper of my spirit. They traded intimacy with me for busyness, urgency, and fleeting satisfaction. Yet no matter how far they turn, my love remains unmoved. I have not forgotten them. I have not erased their names. I have not closed the door. No one ever walked away from me without being called back in one way or another. A glance, a gentle breeze, a sudden memory, an old song, all can become my reminders. I touch gently, never forcing. I call, but never shout, because true love does not control it, waits. And I am still waiting with arms open, with a heart just as full of love as in the beginning. Do you know why I am telling you this? Because I want you to be part of that restoration. I want you to become a messenger, a lighthouse on the cliff, a gatekeeper of the city. You were not saved just to live well for yourself, but to carry that life to those falling into the depths. They don't need long sermons. They need a life that is real. They need to see someone who truly loves, truly believes, truly lives, and truly forgives in the midst of a generation that is fake and skeptical. Let me continue your story with unfading ink, with every act of love, every faithful word, every step you take in obedience to me when no one sees. Each act becomes another line in the story I am writing on your life. And these very pages will one day touch others, cracking the walls they've built around their hearts. You don't need to know who is watching or who is awakening. Just live honestly before me, and I will take care of the rest. You may not see the results right away. You may feel like you're speaking to a wall, sowing on dry ground. But remember, some seeds don't sprout overnight. Some hearts take time to soften. Some souls may not recall your exact words, but they will remember how it felt to stand near you, that they were touched by something holy they had never known. And that something was me, living in you. Do not underestimate your role. A compassionate glance, a sincere embrace, a silent prayer. These may be the beginning of someone's journey back. Someone is standing at the edge of despair, and a single spark of hope, a small act from you, could be enough to turn them around. You do not need to understand everything. Just walk daily in obedience, because obedience always creates space for miracles. My dear one, I do not need you to be strong in the way the world defines strength. I need you to surrender, to have a tender heart, hands ready to serve, and feet willing to walk the rough road. It is through those who seem weak that I do wonders, not through heroes, but through those who depend on me. They are the ones rebuilding the foundations of their generation. The gatekeepers between two worlds, a world in ruins and a kingdom unshakable. And you, yes, you are a part of that. Not later, not when you are more ready, but now, as soon as you open your heart, as soon as you say, "Here I am." Lord, you've been prepared. Little by little, the failures, the stumbles, the tears, even the old wounds, none of them are wasted. They are not the end. They are proof that you are still being shaped by my hands. And it is through those very cracks that light will shine, not the light of perfection, but of true transformation. So, my child, don't stay stuck in the old chapter. Don't let what's behind define you. Don't let the voice of failure drown out mine. I am still writing, and the next page will be a chapter of power, not because you are able, but because I am faithful. Don't be afraid. Don't delay. Don't wait until everything is clear. Go. I will guide you. Love. I will strengthen you. Live holy. I will keep you, for I am in you. And because lost souls out there need to see me through you. And when that day comes, when those you thought could never return weep because they hear my voice again, when hardened hearts soften before true love, when light reaches the darkest corners, you will understand. You will know that every act of obedience, every moment of faithfulness, every tear shed in prayer, all held eternal value. And you will know you lived in the right place, at the right time, for the right mission. My dear one, I do not need a perfect voice. I need a courageous one. I did not choose you because you were stronger than others, but because you knew your weakness and still chose to walk with me. And it is in that weakness that my light in you shines clearly pure, untainted by pride. The world doesn't need more eloquence without authenticity. The world needs those who are silent before me, and then bold for me. Those who speak righteousness even when it is unpopular. Those who love the unlovable, not because of emotion, but because they know my love within them is too great to hold back. You ask me, how will people listen? Remember this, results don't come from persuasion, but from my presence accompanying your words. A single word from lips filled with me can melt years of ice. One small but holy act can break chains binding another's soul. You don't need to manage the outcome. Just be faithful to sow. I will bring the growth. Sometimes you will not see the harvest. You may only sow. Someone else may water, but I will make the seed grow in its time. Don't measure your effectiveness by people's reactions. Some will look at you with doubt, coldness, or even contempt, but that doesn't diminish the value of the light within you. In fact, the purer the light, the more it unsettles the dark. You weren't called to be agreeable with the world. You were called to be salt, sometimes stinging hidden wounds. You were called to be light, sometimes revealing what they wish to conceal. But remember, it's not to expose, but to heal. I am not placing a burden on you. I am giving you an honor. To carry my light is a privilege. I chose you among many, not to frighten you, but to make you brave, not to puff you up, but to make you humble. Knowing everything you have is by grace. Don't compare your light to someone else's. Everyone I choose is placed precisely where their light is most needed. Where you are, that is where I want your light to shine. Don't long to be elsewhere. Don't think, if only I were in a more comfortable place. Right where you stand is where I am moving. My beloved child, when you dare to live truthfully without pretense, without bending truth to be accepted, you are paving a road for others to follow. Maybe they won't say it. Maybe they'll pretend not to notice. But your light is quietly awakening something in them. Some will remember the days they once walked with me. Some will feel their buried faith stirred again. Some will see in you what they've longed for without knowing the name. It is my presence. And then, some will weep, not because of your greatness, but because they hear my voice through you. I will use your very words, your acts of kindness, your patience, to breathe life into what was dead. You may not even realize it, but I am writing stories of transformation with every step you take. And one day, in heaven, you will meet people you do not yet know. They will embrace you and say, because of the light in you, I found my way home. Oh, so, do not be silent. Do not hide what I've placed within you. Do not let fear steal the opportunity I want to give someone through your life. The truth you carry is not a burden, it is life. The love you carry is not an idea, it is a river flowing from me. And if you remain in me, love with my love. Stand in truth even when alone. Walk even when unwelcome. Then I will make you a lamp that cannot be hidden. Not because you are radiant, but because the light in you is real. Remember this, my faithful one. Every time you speak truth in love, darkness must retreat. Every time you forgive, a heart is softened. Every time you refuse to compromise, someone is reminded there is another way, and you don't know who is quietly watching you. They may say nothing, but they are learning from how you live. Light never needs advertising. It only needs to be present. You do not need to do something great. Be faithful in the small things I give you. Love those who are hard to love. Forgive the unforgivable. Speak truth, even when no one wants to hear it. Pray even when no one sees. And above all, keep your heart tender. That is where I dwell. That is where the light is preserved. My beloved child, when you open your mouth to speak the truth, I know there are moments when your lips tremble. Your heart races, and your eyes search the crowd for someone who might stand with you. I understand that feeling, the sensation of stepping beyond the safety of comfort, of being misunderstood, isolated, even ridiculed. But I say this to you, stand firm. Do not doubt the voice within just because the majority remains silent. Do not forget my smile of approval because of the smirk of another. For when you dare to rise for truth, you are not only proclaiming to the world who I am, you are reminding yourself of who you are in me. My child, I did not call you to stand out, but to stand up, to rise amidst a world quietly collapsing under lies wrapped in allure. I did not send you to be admired, but to be faithful. When you choose forgiveness over resentment, all of heaven rejoices. When you bless those who curse you, you release a new stream in the spiritual realm. When you bow to love those who have wounded you, you are not weak. You are drawing strength from a place higher than all earthly powers. The world will always teach that power means control the force to make others yield. But I teach you that true power lies in the silent choice to sacrifice when no one is watching. The world applauds those who retaliate with sharp words. But in heaven, I reward those who choose silence in humility, who choose love when scorned. Power is not found in the pointed finger of accusation, but in the open hand of forgiveness, not in a glittering crown, but in a heart pure and undivided before me. You are not merely living in the world, you are living on a battlefield. But this is not a war of swords and spears, it is a war between light and darkness. Every act of yours, even in secret, sends a ripple through the unseen. When you choose purity in heart amidst a filthy world, you are building a spiritual stronghold. When you choose honesty over compromise for gain, you are pushing darkness back from someone else's life. Do not underestimate your faithfulness, though it may go unnoticed, uncelebrated, unseen on any stage where I dwell. Every step you take in obedience is etched into eternity. I see you. I know it's not easy. But when you refuse to compromise, when you decline to bow to anything not from me, when you keep the flame of faith burning amidst the winds of doubt, that is when you are becoming part of the grand plan I am unfolding to destroy the enemy's schemes. My child, do not mistake the lost as your enemies. They are not. They are the ones I love. The precious souls held captive by deception. Do not blame them for not seeing the light. Have compassion for them. For it is the light in you that I long to use to guide them home. The true enemy does not wear a human face. He hides behind systems, ideologies, and seductive words, whispering lies that draw people away from me without their knowing. He hates them because they were made in my image. He fears the potential I placed inside them. For if even one awakens, if just one turns back to me and sees who they are in me, hell itself trembles. And he knows that. That's why he fights to blind them, to keep them busy, to leave them disoriented. But I will not allow it to go unanswered. I have come to destroy every one of his devices, and I have chosen to do it through people like you. Think of this. My dear one, when you love those the world teaches you to hate, when you stand firm despite being misunderstood, when you remain loyal to me, though no one around you understands at that very moment, hell trembles. You are walking in authority that does not come from applause, but from the Spirit living within you. That authority is quiet, yet it breaks chains. It is not the power of domination, but of self-control, not the control of others, but the mastery of yourself. I know there are days when you feel as though you're moving backward, when every effort seems fruitless. I know there are nights when you wonder, does anything I do really matter? But I remind you, eternity will reveal what this temporary moment cannot. You cannot see it all now, but in the depths of the Spirit, every decision, no matter how small, is charting a course that will guide others back to me. I did not choose you because you were the strongest, the most talented, or the most impressive. I chose you because of your tender heart, willing to listen and walk with me. And because of that, you can do what even the most powerful on earth cannot. You can change the destiny of a soul through a life of obedience. You can awaken hope, dispel darkness, and heal wounds not by your own strength, but because I live in you, And remember, you do not walk alone. Never. Every time you speak truth, I am giving you the words. Every time you choose righteousness, I am holding you up with my righteous right hand. Every time you weep for the lost around you, I weep with you. I do not watch from a distance. I stand beside you, fight with you, speak through you when you have no words, and shelter you when the storm rises. So do not fear. My child, speak the truth, even if you are the only voice in the crowd. Love, even if it is not returned. Forgive even when it hurts. Live in holiness even when surrounded by corruption. For that is true power. That is eternal life flowing through you. And that is how I change the world. One soul at a time, beginning with you. Beloved, there are times you ask, Lord, what can I do in a world like this? I'm too small, too clumsy, too ignorant. But I tell you truly, in the very weakness you see in yourself, I see fertile ground to sow my glory. You do not need to understand everything, or be perfect, or be recognized. You only need to keep your heart soft and willing to say yes to me. That one yes is recorded in heaven. The whole universe holds its breath when your soul surrenders. For your yes not only opens the door for yourself, but becomes the spark of miracles for many others. You are not the Savior, and I never place that burden upon you. I am the Redeemer, the one who bore the sins of the world, the one who shed blood on the cross that every sinner might return. But I have called you to be a guide, a lamp in the night, a finger pointing to the cross, a breath from heaven to awaken those asleep in death. Life does not lie within you, but through you, that life is revealed. You are my hand touching the broken. You are my feet moving toward the lost. You are the voice I use to remind shattered hearts they have not been forgotten. So when you look into faces filled with anger, cold eyes, or smiles masking hidden wounds, remember this: they are the target of my love. I bled for them. I still seek them, those bound in addiction, chasing after hollow glory, those who mock me, the proud who believe they need no one. All of them have a place in my heart, and perhaps you are the first one they will meet, the first to show them me, not through books, but through your life. Do not judge by appearances. You do not know what they've endured, how deeply they've been hurt, what lies they've been taught. But I know, I see it all, and I am working, even when they don't yet perceive it. Some hearts seem like barren ground, unfit for any seed, but I am sending rain, and you are the one I have sent to sow. No need to shout, no need to argue. Just live. Let your life be the living testimony that there is still hope, still love, still grace. Let your kindness be the door that opens where so many have been slammed shut. Let your words be a bridge for someone to walk from doubt into trust. Let your eyes shine with acceptance, not because they deserve it, but because I once accepted you when all you had were your sins. Let the truth in you be a sacred sword, sharp but loving, not to cut people down, but to pierce through the fog of lies. You don't need to be a hero. You just need to be real. One who once fell, but was lifted. One who once wandered, but was found. Speak truth, but with eyes that know how to cry. Speak as one who has knelt at the altar of grace, who has wept in the night, who has tasted my mercy. And when you speak like that, the walls people have built around their hearts will begin to crack, not because of your skill, But because I am using you as a humble vessel, clear enough for my light to pass through, the world does not need more shouting. It is already too loud. It is drowning in voices of condemnation, sharp tones without love. Be the whisper. Be the whisper of the one who loves without condition. Be the gentle call that stirs a soul to remember they were once created by love. Be the breeze that carries the scent of living water. Do not rush. Do not force. Simply be present with my presence. There are those who have given themselves over to evil. There are those who walk in darkness and have made peace with it. There are those who once neared the light but now turn away. I know. I am not surprised, but neither do I give up. My wrath is against sin, not the soul. I hate evil, but my heart breaks for the evildoer. I do not delight in judgment. I grieve. I wait for them to repent. I wait for them to remember something, a flicker I once lit, a promise I once whispered, and perhaps you are the one who will rekindle that flame in their hearts. You may ask, but why me? I say. Why not you? Where you are, where you study, where you work, where you live is no accident. I placed you there. Every relationship, every conversation, every moment you think is ordinary may be a link in a heavenly chain. Be alert. Pray to see with my eyes. Do not live as one waiting for miracles. Live as one being used to bring them. And remember, you do not do it alone. I did not send you and then abandon you. I go with you. I speak through you. I act through you. When you speak words of love with trembling heart, I am there. When you reach for the one the world has rejected and lay your hand on their shoulder, I am placing my hand with yours. When you forgive, when you pray, when you dare to live differently, I am there, smiling and strengthening you. So do not think you are too small. Do not believe you are nothing, for I have chosen you, and that choice was not based on talent, but on love, not on perfection, but on surrender, and what I have begun in you, I will continue until the day it is complete. You are a bearer of light, a messenger of hope, a sign that grace still abounds in a wounded world. And you don't need to do great things. You just need to take small steps, faithfully, for I will take those small steps and make them eternal. And through you, I will touch the souls I love, those I have never given up on. And one day, they will know that I used you to lead them home, and heaven will rejoice, and you will know that nothing done in love is ever in vain. My beloved child, let this be etched in your heart like a living vision. You are not here by accident. Every place you walk through, every person you encounter, every situation you endure, whether comforting or painful, is woven into a divine strategy crafted by me, the creator of heaven and earth. You are not a wanderer in the dark, searching for the meaning of life. No, you are the one who brings meaning into the darkness. You are the one I have positioned, equipped, and placed like an arrow in my hand, and I never release an arrow aimlessly. The enemy fears you not because of your own strength, but because you carry my power. He trembles when you rise each morning and choose to live in truth. He retreats when you light the fire of prayer, even in the darkest nights of the soul. And above all, he is terrified when you know who you are in me. Because once you understand your true identity, nothing can cause you to bow to lies again. You don't need validation from the world. My approval is enough for you to walk as one who belongs to an unshakable kingdom. I need you to see yourself the way I see you, not through the lens of your past, your failures, or the harsh words that wounded you. I see you through the eyes of love, of purpose, of glory. I placed within you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are not a shadow on the fringes of great stories. You are the story I am writing, and that story carries weight. Remember, you are not sent to fight the way the world fights. Not with fists, not with hatred, not with grand speeches. You are sent to love when hated, to speak truth when silenced, to endure when forgotten. That is the hardest battle because it is not won through noise, but through faithfulness. The enemy is not afraid of the world's chaos. He fears an awakened heart that knows how to love unconditionally and walk in holiness every day. That is a declaration of war against darkness without ever needing to shout a word. You have been covered by the blood of the Lamb. No accusation from hell can hold you captive. My spirit within you is not just to comfort, but to act through you, to teach you, to empower you. I do not send you into battle empty-handed. I place in your hands weapons unseen by human eyes: faith, prayer, mercy, spiritual discernment, and above all, unshakable love. Every accusation of the enemy, the voices that replay your old mistakes, the lies that say, "You're not worthy. It's too late. There's no more chance. They are all void before me." I do not see you through your past. I see you through the blood that was shed, and that blood declares, forgiven, chosen, anointed. So why do you still doubt yourself when I do not? Shrink back no more. My child, do not dim your light just because others find it too bright. The world needs that light, even if it doesn't admit it. Don't let the fear of rejection cause you to live a faded life. No one else can walk out the mission I have reserved for you. And don't water down holiness for temporary acceptance. The likes, the applause, the easy agreements, they will fade, but the glory I've placed upon you will remain forever. You were made to stand out, not for show, but so that when you rise, I am revealed through you. You were created to rise not with prideful steps, but with faithful feet that overcome trials. You were formed to carry glory not your own, but glory from above. Glory that comforts the weary and points them to me. And yes, my dear child, it will cost you. You will be misunderstood. You will feel alone at times. You will have to let go of things that are hard to surrender: a relationship, an opportunity, a personal dream. But the reward is incomparable. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what I have prepared for those who love me. The reward is not just the heaven to come, but a life that is full, meaningful, and eternally valuable. A fulfillment that doesn't come from having more, but from being whole. You are standing at the front lines, and that is not a burden, it is an honor. You are the song in the battle, the quiet yet powerful movement of my kingdom. When you forgive, you break down strongholds. When you choose righteousness over compromise, you lay the foundation for restoration. When you stand firm under pressure, you are declaring, the light still shines, and my God still lives. So do not be afraid. Beloved, do not retreat. Do not underestimate yourself. You are the one I have chosen. No one else can replace you in the role appointed to you. Do not wait to be good enough. I have already declared that you are enough. Not because you are perfect, but because I, the perfect one, live in you. Beloved, listen closely, for what I am about to speak is not just to comfort you, but to prepare you. The time has come, no more meaningless days, no more seasons of mere survival. This is the hour when I am awakening sleeping hearts, stirring souls that once seemed cold. My spirit is not just touching you, it is moving across a generation. Don't be surprised if things no longer feel the same. That's me, breaking the banks. It's the spiritual rain preparing to pour out on the dry land of hungry hearts. Nothing in this world, no wealth, no fame, no power can compare to what I am preparing for those who are mine. You may have thought the real reward comes at the end of the journey. But no, the greatest reward is me. To walk with me, to move in my living presence, to see the stories you once only heard become reality, to pray and see chains break, to speak and see hearts stirred, to stand still and see me move. Yes, these days are growing darker. Darkness no longer hides. It struts through streets, schools, media, and daily life. People now call evil good and label good as outdated. I see it. I am not ignoring it. But the light within you will not be extinguished. In fact, the thicker the darkness, the brighter that light will burn. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to rise. Not with might, not with noise, but with the powerful presence that flows from holiness and surrender. You've heard many times that I will pour out my spirit on all people, but now you will see it with your own eyes. I will raise voices not from places people expect, not from the influential or perfectly positioned, but from the overlooked, the forgotten. I will cause the young to prophesy and the old to dream heavenly dreams. I will awaken those who once slept in fear, compromise, and disappointment. I will call prodigal children home with my unchanging love. They thought they had gone too far, but no. I will use you like a bell to call them back. I will intervene in what seemed unchangeable. I will enter families torn by strife, by wounds, by misunderstandings, and I will bring restoration. What has been destroyed for years, I can rebuild in a moment. You will see it. You will witness me work quietly, deeply, and unexpectedly in hearts that no one had hope for. I will move nations not by war or politics, but by stirring the hearts of my people, those willing to kneel and believe that I still act in a world that seems to have shut its doors to holiness. And you are part of that plan, not because you are talented, not because you are more special than others, but because you said yes. That's all I need. A yes that is honest, even when it trembles with fear. A yes spoken through tears. In uncertainty, I don't need you to understand everything. I just need you to trust me. And when you are willing, I will do the rest. You don't need a platform. You don't need recognition. You don't need mass approval. If you have me, that is enough. I will lead you to places you never imagined. It might be a quiet room with one soul who needs to hear of me. It might be a conversation I set up long ago. It might be a different nation, a door you didn't see coming. But wherever you go, I have already gone before you, and I will place words not in your plan, not in your script, directly onto your lips. Words that, once spoken, you'll know you didn't come up with yourself. That is my spirit flowing through you. There will be times you feel drained, times you question yourself. But when you feel most unworthy, I will anoint you most powerfully. I don't seek strength in the flesh. I give spiritual power to those who know they are weak. When you come to the end of your strength, I begin. When you are weary, that is when I hold you closest. And you will not always see the danger lurking near, but I see it. Sometimes you will think everything is calm, yet darkness crouches close. In those moments, it is my hand blocking what you never even knew. I protect you not just from what you fear, but from what you never imagined. There are things I have removed from your path without you even realizing. And in that protection, you can rest. Remember this, I did not call you out so you would fight alone. I called you so that I could fight through you. I did not send you out to abandon you. I send you out to walk with you every step. You may not see me with your physical eyes, but you will sense me clearly in your heart. In every conversation, in every step, in every time you choose truth over silence, I am there. So do not doubt. Do not delay. Step out. Don't wait until you feel ready. I am your readiness. Don't wait until the trembling stops. I can shake the world through a trembling but surrendered heart. Time is short. Darkness spreads fast. But the light in you is real, is strong, and it is from me. And that light will not go out. Not by exhaustion, not by rejection, not by pressure, because I am the one sustaining it. I lit it, and I will cause it to burn bright until the day I return in glory. Don't worry about what you can't control. Just say yes, and let me do the rest. Because a generation is waiting, people searching in desperation, souls thirsty without knowing for what. And I want to use you. Yes, you as living water in the desert. Walk on. My beloved, the night has grown dark, but dawn is coming, and I have chosen you to awaken the world from its slumber. My beloved child, I am the one who shepherds you, the one who never loses sight of you among the multitudes. I am the living water when your soul runs dry, the bread of life when your spirit is faint, the solid rock when all around you is shaking. I am the final breath that sustains you when it seems there is nothing left to cling to. And I have not turned my eyes away from this world, even as it spins in chaos. I see those who trample the righteous. I hear the silent cries of forgotten souls. I know every deed, every thought, every scheme hidden in the shadows. Do not think of me as indifferent. I am the Lord your God, the God of justice. Justice will come, and it will not delay. Yet in my omnipotence, I remain patient, not because I am weak, but because I am full of mercy. I still withhold my judgment not because the guilty are deserving, but because I hope someone will reach them first. I am searching for one who is willing, one who doesn't just curse the darkness, but dares to carry the light into it. One who says, "Here I am. Lord, send me." And you, my child, are that one. You are not called to do everything, but you are called to do your part with all faithfulness and love. You do not need to strain to become the Savior of the world, for only I am Redeemer. But you are the messenger, the sower, the outstretched hand that someone may grasp as they sink into despair. You are the signpost in the wilderness that hope remains, that there is still a way home, that my love has never disappeared. So rise up. My beloved, do not let your soul fall asleep in comfort. Do not trade the firmness of faith for fleeting applause. Do not let indifference seep into your flesh, causing you to live as if I am not speaking, not stirring, not calling. Be brave. Walk even when your legs tremble. Speak even when your voice cracks. Love even when your heart has known pain. Keep going even when no one notices. No one understands. No one responds. Do not let weariness extinguish your flame. Come to me, and I will anoint your lamp with fresh oil. Stand firm in your convictions in a culture that blurs the lines. They may call you rigid. They may label you outdated. But I call you faithful. Do not let fear silence you when truth must be spoken. Do not let compromise, even in its subtlest form, taint the pure stream I have placed within you. For one soul may need only a glimmer of your light to find their way back. Stand upon the foundation of truth, not a truth shaped by emotion, but the truth of my word, unchanging, steadfast, and timeless. Walk in love, not the shallow love of feelings, but the love that dares to sacrifice, to forgive, to be wounded for a greater good. It is the love that held me to the cross, the love that waits for every lost child to return. Guard your heart. Do not let bitterness take root. Do not let doubt steal the faith you once embraced. Do not let disappointment choke the seed I have planted in you. You are a warrior, but first, you are a child deeply loved. Your mind is a battlefield. Take every thought captive through prayer, through the word, through stillness before me. And always remember, you are never alone. I walk with you, even when you cannot feel me. I go before you to prepare the way. I come behind to guard you. I surround you on every side. When you are weary, I am your strength. When you doubt, I am your light. When you fall, I lift you up. When you weep in silence, I gently wipe away your tears. I do not merely walk beside you. I fight for you. Battles you know nothing about, I have already won. Doors you thought were forever shut, I am fashioning keys. Mountains that seemed immovable, I am shifting them even now. And in the midst of it all, I still speak. I speak through you, through the words you write, the words you say, the quiet acts you think no one sees. You are a voice crying in the wilderness, a voice strong enough to awaken sleeping souls. I delight in you not because you are perfect, but because you are mine, not because you are always strong, but because you rely on my strength. Not because you are always right, but because you welcome my correction. Nothing you do can make me love you less, and nothing in your life lies outside my power to redeem. You are not a mistake, not a coincidence, not a lost wanderer in this chaotic tide. You were born at the appointed time, not earlier, not later. You are part of my design, a living answer to someone's desperate prayer. Someone is crying out in anguish, and I am sending you as my reply. You are the hand I extend to lift the fallen. You are the voice I place in the storm to quiet a heart. You are the gentle gaze I long to give to a soul that feels forgotten. You are the love I send into a bleeding wound. Do not think it too great a task, because it is not you doing it alone. I am doing it through you. And when you surrender, I will do more than you have ever dreamed. My beloved child, if you could see what I see, if your eyes were open for just a moment to glimpse the world through heaven's lens, you would never live indifferently again. You would see souls walking unaware that one more step could plunge them into ruin. You would see hearts breaking behind forced smiles. Children growing up without ever hearing my name. Adults weary yet clinging to false hope. You would see, and you would ache as I ache. So do not look away. Do not live as if their pain has nothing to do with you. Do not let your heart grow cold to the desperation around you. Let yourself weep. My child, let your heart break for them not because you are weak, but because the love within you has grown strong enough to bear another's burden. Let the prayers rise from you like an unending river. They are not mere whispers, they are warfare on your knees. Cries that shake the heavens. Every moment you lift them to me. You are drawing closer to the purpose I placed in you. Do not limit your love to the borders of comfort. Love even when they are difficult. Forgive even if they never apologize. Be willing to be hurt. Only do not let your heart grow hard. For it is when you continue to love through pain, continue to hope through rejection, that my love in you shines most clearly. Pursue them not with arguments, but with authenticity, not with debate, but with faithful presence. Be a safe place for them to fall when the world has turned its back. And when they fall, and many will do not turn away, be the hand that reaches out. Be the eyes that do not condemn. Be the voice that reminds them they still have worth. And if they won't listen, if they are angry, if they shout, if they slam the door, do not respond with apathy. Listen deeper. Behind the shout is a cry. Behind the coldness is a fear. Behind the pride is a wounded heart. Keep interceding. Keep loving, even if you're the only one who believes they will change. Because you know what? There will be those who, on a day no one expects, will turn around. A word you spoke, a simple act of kindness, a gentle gaze, an unearned hug, a sincere blessing will remain in their heart like an unseen seed, and in their darkest moment, it will bloom. They will remember, they will repent, they will return, and when it happens, all of heaven will erupt in joy. A kingdom will rejoice for one soul found. You will stand there, tears in your eyes, knowing every tear, every prayer, every unseen step was worth it. I am sending you not as one abandoned, not as one stumbling alone in the dark, but as a messenger of light, wrapped in my presence and glory. You do not walk alone. I go before you. I stay beside you, and I move through you. Speak the truth, my child, but speak it with tear-filled eyes. Walk in righteousness, but do not forget mercy. Stand firm in faith, but keep your heart tender. Remember this, you are sent not to win arguments, but to reach souls, not to be admired, but to be salt and light, not to conquer with force, but to love with power from above. Let your life be a living testament of enduring love. Live in such a way that when others encounter you, they sense my presence. They don't need to fully understand faith or agree instantly. They just need to know there is something in you not of this world. And do not delay. Time is short. The doors I am opening will not stay open forever. The souls you meet today may never cross your path again. My heart burns for those who are dying unaware, and I need you, one who dares to stand in the dark, dares to love without return, dares to speak even when the words bring tears, dares to live sincerely when the world loves pretense. I need you right where you are, in this very moment, because I know through you I can light more than you can imagine. I do not call you to carry the world. I call you to be faithful with your portion, and that portion matters. That portion is necessary. That portion was prepared before you were born. So go, without hesitation, without retreat, without shame, without doubt. Go as one who knows they are loved. sent, and covered. Go as one who understands that the miracle is not in the grand gesture, but in the small surrender of each day. I love you. I loved you before you said yes. I loved you in every fall. I loved you through every doubt. And now, as you go, that love will be the greatest strength that holds you through every storm. Now go, my child. Bring them home. And as you walk, know that every step you take is watched from heaven. And I, the one who sends you, I am still calling you every day, every moment, every breath. Now, my beloved child, lift your heart and speak to me, not through ritual, but with the deep sincerity of your soul. O Almighty God, you who see what is hidden and love without weariness, I come before you trembling, not out of fear, but because I know I stand before a Holy One. I hide nothing from you, for you know even the parts of me I have not dared to face. I do not come in perfection, but in brokenness. Please cleanse me of the lies that have taken root in my mind for far too long. Heal the shame, the guilt, and the wounds that have caused me to doubt your eternal love. You have called me chosen. Help me to live as one truly chosen. Grant me spiritual ears to hear your voice amid the noise, and strong feet to stand firm in the face of temptation. Rekindle the fire within me, that I may live a life that glorifies your name, not by my own strength, but by the grace that flows endlessly from you. Holy Father, who created me with eternal purpose, I offer you this heart tired, yet still longing to live according to your word. Help me not to compromise with the shadows creeping into my daily life. Grant me the strength not to dim the light you have placed in me, even when the world is discomforted by it. Shape me to become a faithful bearer of your kingdom, even when no one understands, even when no one applauds. I do not need to be seen, only to be known by you. I do not seek praise, only to be used by you. Help me remain humble in glory, steadfast in trial, and loving in the face of hatred. O Lord, powerful Creator and gentle Father, I ask you to break apart the hardened parts of my heart, those places frozen by hurt, failure, and fear. Come like fire, not to consume, but to refine. Make me pure, not for praise, but so I may carry your presence clearly in a world full of lies. Give me a tender heart, that I may not grow bitter, and spiritual eyes to see the eternal within the temporary. Lord of my heart, I thank you for calling me not by ability, but by love. Thank you for seeing worth in me when I saw nothing but cracks. Thank you for not letting me collapse beneath the weight of this life, but lifting me with your gentle word. Thank you for every breath, every new day, every opportunity I have to love, to serve, and to reflect you, O faithful one, who never breaks a promise. I thank you for the times you were silent, yet still working, for the things you closed off out of love, for the doors that did not open, because you were protecting me. Thank you for the anointing, though I am unworthy. Thank you for your Holy Spirit, who reminds me to whom I belong and why I live. Lord, my eternal love, I thank you for the things I have yet to see, but in which you are already moving, for the battles I have not fought, but which you have already won, for the tears you have wiped away without me even knowing. I thank you not only for what you do, but for who you are, the unchanging one, the unyielding one, the one whose love never withdraws. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so together we can build a strong community of faith.